Vishal.
I think participants are still in the joining phase here. They are joining. So
Sure.
before we start here, sir, I will give a brief introduction to the participants about you. Then after that, session will be totally yours, sir.
Sure. Thanks. So now I can see 15 participants there.
So number is will increase here with the time because it's a morning session. I think few are coming with the breakfast.
Right. You completely stayed in Triple IT NR campus, or you went in between somewhere?
For a few days, sir, I went here to the home here, but rest of the time I'm still here.
Okay.
This COVID time.
Okay.
I think this time is approaching here, so let me initiate the session.
Please.
So okay. So a very warm good morning to the respected eminent speakers of this session, Professor O.P. Vyas sirs, faculty members from the different organization across the India, research scholars and the students as well as Triple IT and our students here as well as. On behalf of Triple IT and our fraternity, I, Dr. C. Vishal Tripathi, FDP coordinator, as well as the faculty in the EC department, Dr. SPM Triple IT Naya Raipur here. I welcome you all on the fourth day of this online FDP on system engineering on topic recent trends and advances in IoT, sponsored by AICT Training and Learning Academy, Atal Academy here. So this session will be based on the IoT and the smart cities here, and this session speaker is Dr. Professor Vyas here, and it's a privilege for all of us here to have a sir with us in this session, and we will have a chance to learn something from sir's research experience here. What I am saying, you will also be feeling the same here after just 1.5 hour session here. So just be patient for the time being here, and before I will request the sir here to start the session here, I would like to present, give a brief bio description of the sir here. I would like to share with you all, and after that, I will request the sir here. So before we move ahead here, Professor O.P. Yasser is a professor in information technology department here at Triple IT Allahabad. He is the coordinator, or as well he has a business informatics. This is a new branch. I think started this session here in the Triple IT Allahabad here under the mentorship of sir here. And sir has a vast experience as an academician here, as well as few other roles here during this journey. So at present, sir is working as a chief vigilance officer along with his academic responsibilities here. So very few of you know about this position here. This is a very honorary position is offered by, I think, as a representative of central government. Sir is working in Triple IT here. So this is the additional responsibility sir is taking care here. Along with that, sir was professor in Dean here a few years ago here, and before the in 2009 to 2017, sir was professor in charge as well as doctor research section from August 2010 to the July 2012 here. And in his academic journey here, we were lucky to have the sir here with us as a dean academic with us here for a small span of more than 2 years. So from he was here with us here from July 2016 to the December 2018 here. Along with that, sir is very active in the research community here, and he has a lot of collaboration with the foreign universities here, and very occasionally he is invited here, very frequently invited by the different prestigious universities here to share his research experience on that. He is a visiting professor in University of Messina, Italy from May 2016 to present. Present here, he is also associated with France here as a scientist in related Lille, France, smart city project here as a scientist. He is also associated with the University of Paderborn, Germany here as a visiting professor from September 2014 onwards here. where he used to take part in the academic persons here on the teaching and research activities here. And one of the such research group is also in this Germany here in this university. And prior to that, he was associated with Pandit Ravi Shankar Shukla University, Raipur here from December 1992 to August 2019. And sir was very pioneered here in the computer science education in Chhattisgarh region by establishing a very vibrant computer science department at Pandit Ravi Shankar Shukla University, Raipur, and designed and developed many computer science courses like BCA, MCA, MSc, and ITs here. Even if you today ask a few of the persons here at Pandit Ravi Shankar Shukla University, many of the courses or the rules have been framed by the sir only here in this university. So you can think how much role and the contribution he is given to the society here in this academic service here. And moreover, he was also associated for a short span for the GG Center University, Bilaspur, as a professor in computer science department and director of district education from 2000 in 2004 here for less than a year as a teaching activity, research activity, administrative role here. Sir has done his PhD on the topic congestion control and quality of service provision in ATM network here under joint collaboration with Technical University of Kaiserslautern, Germany, and IIT Kharagpur here. Sir is done his MTech from IIT Kharagpur in 1991. Sir's research interests include data mining and knowledge engineering, cybersecurity and machine learning, business informatics, mobile software engineering, new generation networking, semantic web, data analytics and mining, IoT, MANET and wireless sensor networks here. So a vast research experience I also have here throughout this journey. Here you can observe from here. Sir has got many honors and awards through his academic span here, but I have just listed few due to the time constraint. So few of these visiting professors as a Wellfield University, Germany, and he also sir also got the Dot Fellowship Germany as TU Kaiserslautern, Germany here. There is a project investigator of Indo-Norway project CPSEC. Funding agency is DST India, RCN Norway here. It is ongoing project of worth more than 35 lakhs years, and it is duration 2019 to 2022 here. Along with that, I was also associated in the Indo-German research project on clickstream data mining for web project personalization in collaboration with Rostock University, Germany, 2007 to 2019 here. So if we see about this as a research credential here, then we can see sir has published more than 62 journal articles here in the highly reputed journals here. If you go to the sir's profile here at the university, you will see all the reputed journals are in this research domain here. Sir has published more than 27 conference papers. Sir is also associated with 5 book chapters here. And sir, if you see the citation numbers here, it is more than 1400 citations represented sir here. And along with that, very few of you here, if you want to search the search here, then you can also search on the sir on the social media platform like Quora or Facebook. You will search here, you will find a lot of suggestion as well inputs here for the newcomers. Whenever they ask the questions here, they are in the trouble here. So it's very active in resolving their issue as well as helping them as coming forward here. So from their responses and the questions here, you can see it here. So with this here, now I'd like to request sir here, so please take over this session, sir. Now session is yours, sir. Please. I request Dr. Professor Vyas here, sir, please.
Okay, so shall I start the presentation?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Please.
So before that, I would like to formally thank not only the coordinator and Dr. Shri Vishal Tripathi, and also the elaborate list of participants, but also very happy to be again in the company of my most favorite colleagues in IIIT Naya Raipur, Dr. Shri Vishal. So let me start with the presentation first, and then we talk about more on the lines of the topics. So am I audible? Is it the slides visible?
You are perfectly audible, sir, with us here. So I think slide sharing in the process, so it will take a little bit time.
Okay, so let me again make it more.
Yes, sir, it is in the process. It is coming.
Coming. Okay.
Yes, it is coming perfectly.
So can you see the full of the slides?
Yes, and now it is coming.
Thank you very much. So
It's perfect, sir.
To start the proceedings, I hope everybody is on board, those who wanted to come, or shall we wait?
Yes, sir, they are in the process. Yes, sir. No, sir, we can start.
Okay, thank you. So I'm very happy to share my work since 2015. Are working in the areas of smart cities, and luckily it was in the Raipur IIIT when I get some of productive research scholars which collaborate with me on this project, and later on the slides I will convey you. But more idea from my side will be largely on a general description IoT in the smart cities. Of course, IoT, I would not dare to introduce you because you are already an expert by this end of this FDP. I would only talk about the later part of it, that how the IoT can be an effective tool for the smart cities technology. And our approach, which we have implemented, we are not only research, but we have researched also and we have implemented also. And we have taken the implementation result back in the loop to our research efforts so that a complete ecosystem is developed. And of course, we have tried this thing in a very vibrant city of Italy. The city name is Messina, MESSINA, Messina. So that's why the project is called Smart. It's called Smart Messina. So let me start the thing with the current academic activity. Of course, Dr. Sri Vishal has done really meticulous job in pointing out many of my past endeavors. Even many of them I was about to forget, but he has been so kind and so elaborate in mentioning each one of them. You can see this wonderful handshake. It was between the Vice Chancellor of University of Messina, and behind him is my principal collaborator, Professor Antonio Pugliafito, who also came to Raipur when I was in IIIT Raipur. And we shook hands because we started collaborating on the smart city technology, largely because although I have worked with Norway and Germany and France also, but interestingly, I found many things similar in Italy with India. The infamous bureaucracy, but also the typical problem of a developing country, like huge population and many stuff were very common. So the common problem of the city are more efficiently handled in collaboration, I understand. So this is the brief about it, and now I can start the whole outline. So largely, I will talk about the 3 bullets. The 4th one I am leaving for the future possibilities and the area of research, as somebody would like to do it. But the 3 bullets are very importantly mentioned here. So the important thing is, when I say IoT and smart city, the first bullet very clearly say that it is actually embedded systems. It's actually an embedded system because your IoT sensors are installed and become part of many systems in the city. And then how also you talk about the security. But most important thing, my first question will be, what is in the smart city? What actually you can term as a smart city? Then in the smart city definition, I also would like to introduce about the smart building, the smart energy, smart transport, and smart governance. And when you come to the smart city, it's not at all possible without thinking about IoT. So when you think about IoT, then you can talk about a city which is instrumented. A city which is instrumented. You can imagine about what the instrumentation will mean here. Then it is interconnected also. So just being individually instrumented doesn't help us. We need to have a complete interconnections between all the different parts of the city. We were installed with the wireless and networks and IoT devices. And then after instrumented and interconnected, we want to have an integrated system. An integrated system, something like which you can imagine in any ideal city controlled command center. But from the central place, I can look at all the instrumentations and interconnections and each and every functioning at room level. So that's the basic idea in general. But when you go to next, I talk about in general, what are the technical challenges the people worldwide are facing in terms of smart cities, especially when you want to exploit IoT there. So, not only challenge and opportunity, but I will talk about also the technical infrastructure, what are expected and what are being done. And then I come in the second bullet, in the second point, IoT Cloud Federation. So how this IoT can be so smart, so efficient when we make help of cloud services. And that's what we will try to develop a community involvement for the smart city system. Then I talk about my first-hand experience over last 5 years. Not only me, but you will see in the next slides, many of my colleagues, many of my students could also visit Italy. And there was no pandemic, then possibly one more colleague might have gone this year. But because of Corona, the visits were stopped only in this summer. And then I talk about more and more about the Smart Me project, technically, what are the technical aspects and infrastructures and how the whole architecture is imagined and designed, what are the technologies involved, but more importantly, what are the players involved in this whole process. So you can see it was university and municipality and private companies which were part of this whole wonderful effort, which is still going on. And definitely we have to touch upon what we are doing in India. And then I have left this idea to the next possible work, that how do you take care of cyber security? I will convince you more about this aspect and why it's relevant more. But of course, now I can come to the details of the slides as given here. So meanwhile, if any query, any question, just please let me know, because it's 1.5 hour long session. And having a monologue from my side will also be very tiring for me, very boring for me. And also it might be boring for you. So in between, if you have anything to be asked, anything to be added, please feel free to do so, because we have enough time for that. I don't want to wait completely till the end of the presentation. Of course, you can wait, but you can tell me in between also. Okay? So now you can see this is a beautiful picture, which you can see always that a smart city is an urban development vision. Okay. So idea is a smart city is an urban development vision. But what they want to do is ICT solution in an efficient fashion to manage a city's assets. Okay. And the goal of building a smart city is to improve quality of life by using technology to improve the efficiency of services. It's very, very important that you not only improve the services, but in such a way that you meet the residents' needs there. And there are also many definitions worldwide, because smart city is not a India-specific idea or India-specific concept. It is being practiced, being explored worldwide. So they all have given their own way of different definitions. So you can just simply go through it. But I would like to just tell you what I mean to say by smart city in terms of its components. So first important components is smart buildings or smart houses. They're very, very important thing to imagine how typically a smart building or a smart houses will be equipped with ICT technology. And it's very important to understand the energy management system, what we call the EMS, energy management system. So you have to be very efficient, not only in the capability to provide multiple options for the energy usage. You can give solar energy, you can give other alternatives, but also you should be able to conserve the energy, in sense that you should be able to control and monitor from single control center. If there is no need of any electricity consumption, you should be able to stop it from the central place. Try to waste energy. Sometimes you see the huge amount of lighting is done in the broad daylight. People forgot to shut off the street lights, heavy halogens, and they do not know how to conserve them, because energy cannot be in that sense be enough anytime. So smart building and then smart energy. And smart home and smart energy, they are the very, very important part of it. And whenever you do something on that, you should be able to realize that You have a battery storage system, you have a wind farm, you have solar panels, and the smart city is considered to be equipped with such this technology in a long run. So even if you are using battery, then you should know how to dispose of this battery, how to recharge the battery, how to do the battery storage, because many times you might be using them. Then, of course, the very important part is smart transportation. So these will be also electrical vehicle cars will be without any carbon footprint required as a part of the green city initiative. So many people consider smart city as a green city. So it's very, very important that we imagine that this is the objective, this is the idea, and IoT is just a tool and technology towards meeting this idea. And of course, you have very important environmental friendly designed buildings. So cities, you can see it is imagined that there will be 88 smart cities by the end of the 2025. And the large projects, the huge projects already in the making. And you can imagine how the whole idea is. So the important thing is the whole idea of a smart city has one thing which we call the mainstream idea of smart cities. So in general, what you think about smart cities and how you technically classify that this is a smart city or not, because every modern city or every highly urbanized city cannot be termed as a smart city. So there are some standards, some worldwide forum which decides on the criteria on which you can say that there are these smart cities. But the important thing is for us is to understand when we talk about India, and when you imagine making a Raipur or a Naya Raipur as a smart city, you should realize that it will not be exactly the same idea of a smart city, which can work for Raipur and which can also work for Allahabad, for example, or which can work for Kashi, for example, if you want to consider. So every city is not only made of bricks and buildings and the things which are non-living, but city itself is an organic creature. It's an organic body. It also has its own life. It also has its own characteristics which cannot be sacrificed just because of you want to make it smart. So the mainstream idea is one thing, but our idea of smart city has to be in the line of think global but act local. So you should see the local aspirations and requirements. But why is the mainstream idea of smart cities addressed? It's generally addressed by huge municipalities. So, you know, municipalities worldwide are responsible for maintaining the city. And they are not very famous, to be honest. They are not famous in the country to be very efficient or to be very visionary. So currently the coordinating agencies are also from the central government in case of Indians. But in many countries, the structure is different. But my question is, what makes a city smart? Can somebody of you just give your opinion on the last sentence of this slide? As per you, what makes a city smart? I look forward to your opinion now.
Good morning, sir. This is Rajeshwar from RCRT Chandrapur.
Welcome, Rajeshwar. Please tell me.
Sir, according to my idea or my thinking, smart city means everything should be in plan. It's availability of hospitality plus proper drainage system, each and everything you can consider it as. Especially parking slots, traffic rules, availability of easy availability of hospitals.
Right.
To the needy one.
Right.
On a single click. I think. And more is there, but in short, I said something.
Okay, so Rajeshwar, have you seen any real smart city in the making, or do you have some experience on this?
No, sir. Just heard about the smart city and reads about something about the smart city. How should it work?
Wonderful, wonderful. Thank you
Okay.
so much, Rajesh. Thank you so much. Any other opinion on the smart city? What makes a city smart?
Hello, good morning, sir.
Good morning,
This is
Sandeep.
Lani. Actually, the term smart means that things must be automatic and things must be talking to each other without no or minimum human intervention. So that we can say smart. Actually, smart is actually subset of IoT. IoT includes the interaction with internet also, but smart, we can say we can have sensors and actuators, and they can be talking to each other with wireless technologies.
Okay. Okay.
So smart, we can say subset of IoT. IoT includes interaction with cloud through internet also. So in broad sense, things must be automatic, just like to machine communication. With minimum human intervention, things should be able to work there.
Great, great. Sandeep, from which place you are? Which city you are from?
I am from Haryana, sir. Jean district of Haryana, Jean city.
Thank you so much for sharing your thoughts.
Thank you, sir.
So as you can see, the word smart or the smart city always includes so many things, so many miscellaneous ideas, so many structured ideas also. And to be honest, when we start talking about a smart city, we have something like an ideal in our mind. And we have to be more specific in terms of, from technology point of view, what exactly we want to make a city smart, because that's what we have to work upon also. So first important thing which I consider from the technology point of view is like this. So broadly, I can say that the buildings, transportation, energy system is my first priority area. And what I want to do with these systems is monitor, model, and manage. So in terms of monitor, I want to put many sensors, actuators, so that I can understand them. And also for monitoring, I have to communicate, and for that, I have to connect. And of course, model, because I have to work on the existing system, but I could not only be confined to the existing system. I have to keep on analyzing them, and if I can improve upon by optimizing some of the things. For example, the energy, for example, the transportation. So I have to not only simply automate the current system, but meanwhile, I should also look at how to optimize it, of course, by analyzing it. And then most important thing is continuously manage it. Continuously managing is something very, very important. So whatever I decide as a model should be able to be maintained for long, forever, if not. And the data collection analysis comes from the instrumented, interconnected, and integrated system of IoT devices. So we largely come down to the foundation of any smart city, which is IoT device. And smart cities are termed smart because of its capacity to learn from past and take better decision in autonomous manner. The important thing is that you keep generating data from your sensors and keep analyzing these data of whatever happened in the past and try to see what can be the improvement in the future. If you look at the past 5 years, every year in the heavy rains time, your city is completely filled with water, the drainage system fails, the transportation fails, then you also know every year that how the rains are going to affect. We have generated data that which part of the city gets what type of rainfalls and what are the problem areas from the past. And then I take a more preventive action in the future. If I'm not able to learn from my past and not able to do it in an automated manner, the city cannot be turned. But important thing is what will be the smart cities technical infrastructure. Can somebody give me an suggestion that, as per you, what could be a typically a technical infrastructure for a smart city? Well, this is also not a very simple question to answer. But in general, I can say that the city will have be equipped with IoT connectivity among various devices and systems. But more importantly, as you already know about it, going to create a cyber physical system. Cyber physical system, which has at the upper layer the IoT devices, which provides you the technology implementation. Very well say, very well understand what I am telling you by instrumented, connected, and intelligent. So there are also an important thing to be called intelligent. So you can see the downmost layer, you try to instrument the whole thing. So instrumentation is there in terms of, you can see the city fabric, the energy, the movement, the water, everything you first try to equip with the smart sensors and IoT devices. And in the next level, you try to interconnect them. You connect the city's drainage to the you can say recycling plants. You can connect the energy, the recyclable renewable energy plants. You can connect the transport system to how the travel has to be concluded with. Similarly, you connect all these resources. So interconnection will be the next part where the collaboration and access to local, regional, and worldwide network will be very, very important. Small and medium enterprises, multinational companies, universities, public sector, and also the virtual community also involved. Then when you have done all these two parts, next important thing is that how you optimize. Now the thing is to start improving upon and then trying to take in stock of what will happen in the future. And this will be called predictive modeling. Then you try to forecast, you try to simulate. You want to avoid any past failure. For example, this in a heavy crowd in the time of Kumbh Mela or in special Snan, and then try to simulate the whole thing in advance. In advance. This small area, how the thing will be done. So I see them in advance and try to improve upon to tell me what are the requirements of the future. Of course, you know all about the technological requirements in these terms. You are be requiring with so many things which we have in general. Also, you must have heard about these things in your past presentations. But important thing is, when you talk about IoT and talk about the IoT connectivity, then you have to understand the IoT we have considered in our project and our research about the three different parts of it. Of course, first is the sensors and devices. So in sensors and devices, mostly you will be doing the job of seeing in terms of vision, in terms of having the temperature, in terms of positioning. And then for the devices, you also use many devices like RFID tags, and then you also use embedded phones and embedded constraint devices. So in that way, you go on looking at the communication at the end, and there are communication protocol already in place with 802.5.4. Then you have Zigbee, infrared, and Bluetooth also supporting you with RFID. But when you are working on this, what should be actually the ecosystem? What should be the complete system with that? So a smart city can be considered as an ecosystem or more precisely cyber physical system including sensors, actuators, devices, related data and information, applications and services, as well as policies. It's very, very important to have the policies and rules in place. Otherwise, nothing is going to give you the desired result. So many research literature four straightforward or very simple idea to implement IoT in the smart city context. There are huge amount of challenges, huge amount of issues. More or less because the challenges are involving many stakeholders. Challenges are not only for the government policy makers, but also for the vendors, for the users, for the managers, and also for the citizens of the city. So let me read the bullets one by one. So first major problem is protocols for communication. Each and everything now is going to be connected through IoT. But how do you establish a communication of a real-time nature? Because there is a huge amount of heterogeneity. There are IP devices, which has Internet Protocol addresses. There are non-IP devices. They do not have any Internet Protocol addresses. They are MAC address level devices. There are devices standards also is essential for product development, for interoperability, and if there are no community involved. No smart city, believe me, no smart city in the world can function and can be successful without the active involvement of each and every stakeholder, including the citizens of the city. So the whole ecosystem, then it's also important to understand when and to what extent they should be involved in design and implementation. Especially the huge emphasis has been worldwide shifted to the idea of open system and open data platform. So give me an idea about what do they understand from the open system and open data platform? This term, open system and open data platform? These terms are not very well known to you, but smart city technologies are largely being affected or being badly affected by the different vendors. So if you go to a particular vendor, I have to give some name, for example, IBM. You want name like Cisco, you will realize that they are not only having different standards, but also having proprietary protocols and proprietary systems. So joining and combining things from IBM and gadget from IBM with another one from Cisco or another from Microsoft might be very, very difficult. Very, very difficult. So I am part of many smart city initiatives in India, especially one that was done in Gujarat. And I visited many places to finalize their technology and the testbed for Gujarat Technical University, who started the country's first graduate school in the smart cities. Long back, almost 5 years back, they started graduate school. They wanted to develop a tech. And for that purpose, we visited Cisco and IBM, and everybody will beat their drums, their trumpets, and they will tell that their technology is best. But when you go to the level of implementation, you will realize that they are so restricted. They are so confined that once you go for them, you have no choice but to continue with them for life. Continue with them for life. So they not only will be very, very expensive, but they will not allow you to customize your technological development towards your own objectives or towards your own plans. And that becomes a very undesirable situation. This is a very big challenge for all the smart city designers and developers. Next comes the idea of intelligent data analytics. If you're not able to analyze your data, you're collecting the data about the air pollution, you're collecting the data about the lightening of the path or the passages or the buildings, and you're not using it for the future decision, then it will be very, very difficult. There will be, of course, no relevance of doing all the technological developments. So important things in terms of all the data science experts can understand it more. But on the fly analysis, on the fly means I'm currently getting data, traffic data in my system, and immediately I want to analyze in real-time basis so that I can advise the next incoming traffic to be diverted to some other path in the city to prevent, to avoid a traffic jam. So I give you the data and I will give you the result today in the evening. Then they say, forget it. I'm not interested in your analysis. Because I want to solve the problem now on the real-time basis. So the thing is, these technological developments have taken pace at the large number of groups worldwide who are working on the area of stream data mining or stream data analytics. Then, of course, you have to understand that every smart city has its own specific characteristics and requirements. If you want to make Kashi as a smart city, then you have to understand the culture of the ghats in the Kashi. You have to understand the culture of small streets in the Kashi, small in the temples in the Kashi. You cannot say that I want to make the same smart city model and it is working in the Amsterdam and very successful one. So I want to just simply implement that for Kashi or for Prayagraj. It will not work. It will not work. So that's not only technology, but the big amount of understanding required. And of course, that you have to have a suitable model, you can say a sustainable model. A sustainable model we can sustain, which can work for long. Something is working for 2 years, you'll see every government web cameras are kaput, they are defective. Either they are broken, their wires are loose, or they are not functional. And that is not going to work. So you have to see a model or a technology with a sustainable and maintainable model and with very clear performance indicators, So you should be able to see whether your system is working or not in terms of some performance parameters time to time. Not only you, there should be some third party who can look at them. So these are the broad areas, and believe me, everyone in the audience will find out some area of their interest in the research domain of the IoT for smart cities. Believe me, if you can really look deep into the whole ideas. So of course, I cannot touch upon all the 6 topics in the current today's presentation, because I'll be, rather than that, giving you more impressions of our own, what we have done in the Italy and what we have developed there as a model. Okay, so I will be very quickly shifting to the IoT in smart cities in general requirements and then to the specific ones. So IoT for smart cities, the problem is with the popularity of IoT devices, many IoT protocols and are, and a lot of problem in terms of memory space and processing capacity. And you see that there is a deployment in the field, so they will not be having continuous power supply. Don't forget that very important practical point, which means that they need to operate under power supplied from batteries or maybe small solar panels. So you have to understand the technology has to be workable. You can have a wonderful idea, but it meet these challenges. It is very, very important. So as a consequence, the power efficient communication protocol, that's very, very important thing. Protocol should be able to have workable capacity, not only in the power efficiency, but also in the small memory footprints. You should not have big hacks in your protocols and limited demands on processing. GPIP traditionally doesn't work here. So for all these problems, include problem like heterogeneity, because there will be not homogeneous devices. There will be very different devices. Some traffic system also needs to be connected through IoT. There are vehicles, the IoT or wireless sensor network in already deployed. There will be, of course. So this will be large amount of diverse devices. That's why heterogeneity. When you are in the amidst of the city center or street corner of a house, you have to be equipped with all the technological services and the connectivity, and also interoperability. You should be able to work with different technologies. So for all that, the wonderful idea of was there to just look at another interesting development called cloud technology. So worldwide, they are complementary characteristics. Complementary means they fulfill the weakness of others by their own strength. You can say that the IoT devices or the small Arduino boards, for example, one of the popular sources, they have limited processing capability, very limited computational capabilities. But cloud service can completely augment you with an enormous amount of unlimited computational capacity in the servers, somewhere stored and managed by the clouds. So all Arduino boards, when they'll be connected with cloud services, you can wonderful thing can be achieved. Similar to storage, almost no storage or very limited one in the IoT devices, but cloud again will help you. Almost space, almost. So in that, you see this more clearly one by one. But what I want to convey you is this combination of IoT infrastructure with cloud technology is one of the most preferred choice worldwide. So implementations and need for the open standard development for smart cities. Okay, so I'm still audible because I've not seen anybody. So am I audible? My slides are completely visible. Please tell me.
Yes, sir, audible and perfectly visible.
For letting me know about it. So you can see worldwide many cities such as the London, New York, see the increasing need and interest of the public sectors to explore technologies. So using open standards doesn't automatically result in the open systems also. So in our context, an open system means an integrated open IoT infrastructure. Please try to see this red lettered word. Open IoT infrastructure solution. This is the key word for the practically implementing a long-run sustainable smart city infrastructure. Providing access to open data and APIs, application programming interfaces for cloud services. Many current IoT systems, for example, the air quality monitoring or the smart home are either incomplete systems with limited functionality, that is in terms of sensing, storage, and analytics. They're incomplete, they're limited. That's what I'm telling you. Many of the IoT systems currently are proprietary systems dedicated for a particular task. There are vertically integrated systems, sometimes called the stovepipe or vertical silos. Vertical silos are something which are separated and cut off from the mainstream world. So no has an access. So which we combined or extracted easily from with the third-party components. No technology as a standalone is workable in such a heterogeneous and such a complex environment. You work, you have to be completely integrated. So last point, once invest in a particular system, you are into that vendor's system. That's a terrible problem, terrible problem with most people in the world are facing while implementing the smart city technology. Or technology experts of IBM, and mainly these are the two major players, IBM and Cisco. Their representatives, their marketing bosses will be after you to do that. They are the most prepared and most ready technology of the shelf to really implement. And that's why you will be entering into a difficult terrain, because in the future, you will be completely restricted. So after that, you should realize that there are also some governmental initiatives after that, and the initiative was from some part in the world. You'll be surprised that even better than Americans ones, European Union has been more structured and more
Vishal sir. Okay, sir.
am I audible?
Yes, sir, you are audible, sir. If the connectivity is, I can run your presentation from my side.
Okay, so I'm still able to load it. Can you see my presentation also? I'm able
Yes,
to
sir.
load it now.
Perfectly visible to us, and your voice is also coming nicely.
Thank you so much. Thank you. So we are back to the business, and from here, this point and onwards, I would rather like to share my own project experience, okay, of implementing this wonderful IoT technology for the smart city in Italy. So as you can see, Messina, which is not otherwise a very famous city, but it's a very, very beautiful tourist place. And it's also, as you can see, the Mediterranean Sea. If you can see the small dot there with Messina, it's a very interesting seaports, and it's a very you can say easily connectable through sea routes. So what happened is that in this case, opposite to the Messina is a wonderful sea, beautiful sea, and one extreme part, you can say on the downwards, is it's a very interesting geographical structure of a volcano, a very active volcano. around not very close, but around some few hundred kilometers, some around 100 kilometers. So it was a very interesting and very challenging terrain for us to start working on. And just opposite to the Messina was Reggio Calabria. So you can say Reggio Calabria. Now many of my partners and collaborators from India, especially you can call Nachiket Tapas and Ashish Patel, and many of them I will mention you in the slides. So they also visited this place. So I can tell you about this. It's the capital of Italian metropolitan city, the third islands of Sicily. So interestingly, Sicily is a one you can say big, huge province area in Italy.
Sir, can't hear, sir. That sir is not audible, sir.
Okay. हाँ सर, एक्चुअली वो बार बार डिस्कनेक्ट हो रहा है, तो मैं यहाँ से कनेक्ट कर दे रहा हूँ सर। फिर आप नेक्स्ट करते चलिएगा। आई विल कीप ऑन गोइंग। नहीं आ रहा सर आपका, ठीक है, तो मैं शेयर कर रहा हूँ, आप जस्ट बताते जाइएगा। आई विल कीप ऑन चेंजिंग, ठीक है, ओके। So now it is the same slides here. So from here onwards, you can move ahead. You can just let me know when I need to go for the next.
Okay, so how do I go and see that? Because I'm not able to see that. So shall I go to your page, click and?
And actually, your sharing will be stopped, sir. So I think this will be displayed.
But how can I see? Yeah. Now it's coming. It's coming. Let me wait for a second. Then when it comes to me, then I can understand. Yeah, now it's coming exactly. First class. Very nice. So thank you, Dr. Shivishal, for this very kind support. As you can see, that the idea was that we are trying to work in the city of Messina, city named Messina, which was one of the 13th largest city in Italy. It is a population of more than 2,51,000 in the core city and about 6,50,000 in the metropolitan. So now you can understand that why we wanted to take up this example, because otherwise the cities in the Europe and America, they are not hugely populated. So unless there is a huge population like what we have in India, at least something close to them, you cannot understand the scale and the complexity of the problem. So any solution or any model will not be very effective. So that's why we were very happy. And when we saw that some of Italian collaborators told me that it's very close to the climatic side, also close to the Indian climatic side. So it was very nice for us to keep working on them. So this was the area where we have, for last 5 years, we are working on a research project. And not only me, many of my colleagues, as you can see in the future. Next slide, please, Ashu. Can we go for next slide, please? Yeah, thank you. So, as you know, the Italians are very fond of foods, just like they are very fond of food in India also. So you can see my wonderful collaborator. You can still see the Indians which worked with me, Ashish Patel and Nachiket Tapas, both were the PhD scholars of IIIT in NIA Raipur. So you can this picture is from the Messina city, and a Google Summer of Code winner, Ashish Khare, wonderful programmer. And we all together worked in the smart city Messina project. Can you go back to earlier slide, please? Go back, please.
Yes, sir.
So here you can see my colleagues. One of those is Francesco, the sitting person next to me with beard and the blue T-shirt. Just next to me is a Francisco, who is the core architect of this whole Smart Messina project. And he's expert in the OpenStack technologies, OpenStack technologies. And you can see in the picture, there are other two guys. One is Ricardo, and the second is Giovanni. Ricardo and Giovanni, very lovely people. Each one has an expertise with one part of the project. But somebody is very good in IoT devices, somebody is very good in communication, somebody is very good in the cloud part of it. So they used to work very, very hard. And after the work, as you can see in the next picture, we also
Shall we go to the next, sir?
what actually I am doing in research. So even I'm very happy that she shall give me this opportunity to tell me about that. So that was the two slides. And next, come to the next one, please. So now you can see collaborative project, the Smart City of Italy. So a Smart City project involved many challenges, both scientific and administrative. And recent experience in Italy for a Smart City project named Smart Me. So a Smart Me project is a collaborative project born from a wish of a team of researchers in the Mobile and Distributed Systems Lab at University of Messina in the Department of Computer Engineering. Computer engineering was more close to the hardware or electronics as a department. So it's to encourage a conversation with the municipality of Messina in order to spur the creation of a novel virtual ecosystem based upon the paradigm of. So, next one, please.
So this one also for the next. सर आवाज नहीं आ रही सर आपकी. Okay. एक बार देख लीजिए, नहीं आ रहा तो फिर लॉकआउट कर लेंगे. Okay. Okay. Yes, sir. I could connect with the speaker. Now you are connected, audible to the speaker, audience, sir. You move it. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So you can see how we are going to do it. The Smart City is built Can you go back, please?
One more, sir.
Yeah, one more back. It's not forward, backward. Backward more, one more backward. Okay, so important thing is that SmartMe and open, flexible.
Next, sir. Yes. Next. This one, sir. Is it this one, sir? Sir, please. Sir, please.
Am I audible now?
Yes, sir. You're audible now.
Okay.
So,
So-
you can share.
So can I try the share also then?
Sir, you please.
Okay. Let me try the share then. Am I visible and audible?
Yes, sir. Perfectly.
Perfect. Great. So technology has again supported us.
Yes.
So please look at the picture, which is very important picture, which tells you about how actually we have done. This is a satellite picture. As you can see, that the city of Messina is beautifully located next to the sea, Mediterranean Sea. And the project is basically by the university, but is also supported by the municipality. And the skills which is involved in the project is very properly maintained. Open data system, as you can see the skills part there. Smart city technology, Arduino boards mainly, sensors, and IoT, Internet of Things. And the idea, as I can read the slide in the last box of the slide, to morph Messina into a smart city. An open data platform has been set up through the deployment of low-cost microcontroller boards equipped with sensors and actuators and installed on buses, lampposts, and buildings of the local institutions all over the urban area. So many different points. You can see there are some flags also shown here, just to highlight where we have installed these Arduino boards and what exactly are the composition of the board. And also I will come to know. But how we have done, because we have basically planned an open system. We never wanted to be confined to the proprietary vendors like the company which I have mentioned. I have nothing against the companies, but thing is that we want a system which can be changed by us, open and modifiable system. So that's what we have developed, flexible and scalable platform for smart cities and IoT, starting from the OpenStack software platform. Please Google it if you have not heard it earlier. OpenStack is a very, very important movement. Exactly in the way the Linux has developed as an operating system, OpenStack is more, it can be termed as a cloud operating system, which allows you to use a large number of cloud services. See this interesting word, stack for things. This is a community developed and largely contributed by our Italian collaborators, Stack for Things. This is an IoT counterpart in terms of a product which works on OpenStack. And actually, it spans the infrastructure as a service and platform as a service layers. Okay. So SmartMe uses some of the core Stack for Things approach towards a runtime rewirable smart city paradigm by outlining and textualization mechanism, also describing its usage. Okay, so this is a typical board which we are using as a main. Can you read? Can you see my slides?
Yes, sir. We can see.
Now these are all very familiar terms that now how we are done. But all the devices were now, this is an instrumented part of it. Is done from this basic device. Then you have developed with the Arduino Boon. I have given more detail about all those who are more interested in the technical specification, that is mainly Arduino enabled flavor. But we have contributed so much for the Arduino boards that eventually a new spin-off, a company was created. Okay, so I'm trying to call Dr. Shiv Vishal.
Sir, may I call, sir?
Yeah. Yeah, is it, am I audible?
Yes, sir. You're again audible, so back.
Audible, and can you see the slides also?
Yes, sir. Approach open system slide is open with us.
But I have changed the slides, so is it not shown?
No,
Smart Me
still
Sensors is a slide.
no, sir. Still open approach.
Stop sharing and again come back. Let me come back again. Okay.
Okay, sir. Sir. Hello.
So it's me.
Hello.
Shivishal, can you see the new slide on Smart Me Sensors?
No, sir. Still, it is showing that you are sharing content. Yes, now it is visible, sir. Smart Me sensor.
Sensors is visible, huh?
Yes. Now it is visible, sir.
Okay, so I will not do the full view mode. I will run in the short version, so it can be at least be visible. Okay.
Okay. Fine. It is visible, sir. Please.
Okay. So am I audible by the? Am I audible also on the on this presentation?
Yes, sir.
Perfect. So as you can see, this is the small the board packaged in the unit, which we have tried to place it on the lamp post. So Smart Me sensors, they offer a series of low-cost environmental monitoring stations that can be equipped with Wi-Fi, Ethernet, LoRa, and LoRaWAN, and Sigfox 2G, 4G, and NB-IoT connectivity. Okay, so they're also for temperature, humidity, pressure, brightness, noise, air quality, and so many important things. And different places, all are not necessarily equipped with the same board, but we can always do the job in terms of what we want to show. So the whole idea is a smart bee approach, which is actually considering the IoT infrastructure as a natural extension of a data center. So I hope my this slide is visible, Smart Me approach.
Yes, sir. Visible, sir.
Thank you. So now it is giving the broad architecture that the small devices which I have shown are having a middle layer of open stack, and through well-defined cloud API as a resource management interface, I am now using it with also the idea of separation of concerns. Separation of concerns because I want to keep the functionality and the services separated from the user for the security point of view. And from cloud to the fog or edge computing is the idea where the Smart Bee app is used. So we have largely worked on the OpenStack community, actively developing the IoT component, IoTronic. So we have developed two important component based on the open source and Arduino in the hardware side, Arduino on the software side. OpenStack also is a very, very major development on which we have developed this IoTronic and Stack for Things. So the heart and soul of the Smart Bee project is the Stack for Things framework. Stack for Things is the middleware, the cloud-mediated interactions with droves of sensor and actuator hosting nodes, regardless of their geographical position or their networking configuration, and they importantly implement the SDC or smart software-defined city. Software-defined city because I can change it accordingly. Now but some area are not illuminated, so lighting is another problem. Parking is the problem, and might be some areas like Uttarakhand, or slide is also a problem. The Smart View is one application which I also uses on the vehicle services. I have also Smart Bee Cam. So we are using vision, and you will be happy to know of the Triple IT and our scholar Ashish Patel. He worked on this part of the Smart Bee project. That through computer vision, he generated many audio and video and images which could be analyzed. So for privacy,
कनेक्टिविटी का इशू है.
can you see our very familiar pothole on the road? So when I first time saw it, I was very happy that not only in India but also in developed country like Italy, we face some problem like potholes. So our in the crowd sensing application, because we now data we depend on the travelers in the smart city. So travelers are equipped on their mobile phones the data which helps us telling us in whether there are potholes. So based on the jerks and the vibrations, it can tell vibration sensors and GPS which roads are still having potholes. Similarly, lighting are properly illuminated, not illuminated. It also be seen by this existing light. So the smart bee solutions can be provided taking into account the 4 points and the 4 components. So we have smart bee board. First of all, I have given you the detail of the specification. We have slightly changed the Arduino board and hardware with the help of the company. And the new board, which we have named as Arancino. Arancino is a very popular dish in the city, a popular vegetarian dish, because I am vegetarian, so we tried this very, very often. So this new board was Arancino boards, as you can see the details available on the slide node. Then we have sensors. So we also work on the communication channel of it. And then we have developed the gateways. So Smart Bee gateways using the Linux, and then also capabilities can provide the possibility of the parts. And the Arancino LoRa gateway is a specialized LoRaWAN gateway, which was the new development of arcade. And the smartphone appliances gives me all through the connectivity to the virtual appliances and also allow me to work service. So now I have this in a very interesting area where the landslide monitoring also is now possible. Smart can also be used. A can which is filled will inform you. Hello, am I audible? see the slide with the volcano? Volcano picture?
Yes, sir.
No, sir.
No, sir, it is other application in a smart city. It is showing.
After stopping the sharing, again sharing it, okay?
No, it is coming, sir. It is coming.
Thank you so much. So you can see the 54 number slide, which shows the very, very exciting picture. And you can trust me, it is the real, you can say, active volcano near to the city in Italy where we are working. So left side is showing you the volcano eruptions. It's a huge, huge mountain, more than, you can say, 2,000 meters high. And suddenly sometime erupts. And for a few weeks and few months sometime, nobody can go closer. But after the eruption is silenced, you can see the right side of the picture where you can see my picture also in a black t-shirt. Can you see the background of the black ashes?
Yes, sir. We can see in the corner. We can.
You can see interesting to see how the black ashes have flown down, and all the parts were green initially. You can see there were some plants still available in the left side of the picture. Green. So this was the complete greenery on all the sides. But from the whatever parts the ashes have flown, lava has flown, that part has burned down to the dark black ash.
Yes, sir.
So this was a very, very interesting project because the people around the area were pretty troubled with the volcano eruption for many weeks and many months. There will be no traffic, there will be no work. So they wanted to have some sensor devices installed on the top of the mountain when the mountain is not active, when it is silenced. Then we can we install some sensors and IoT devices so that before time it can inform us if there is a possibility of eruption in the next week or next month, so that all can prepare in advance. Okay. Can you see my next slide with sensors on active volcano?
I think it will still. It is in the process.
I think, sir, there is a network, I think, connectivity issue. A little bit slow.
Mm-hmm. Okay, sir. I can share. Hello. 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 Actually, I already shared the 55 with them here.
Take some few seconds to come, then I will start speaking.
Yes, sir. It is visible to them, sir.
Okay, thank you so much, Dr. Shivishal, for helping me out with this problem that I want to show you. The most exciting project part in this whole journey. You can see me with an Italian researcher from the Institute of Volcanology. There's Institute of Volcanology because volcano is existing with them for 1,000 years, you can say. So they wanted to install in the silent times some IoT devices and sensor devices around the mountain, Etna. We call mountain, name of the volcano is Etna Mountain. So we worked there, as you can see, our other colleagues in the next picture, and we tried to just stick some of the IoT devices behind the soil so that a series of IoT devices, series of sensing devices, so that we can tell people in advance that what are the preconditions or pre-situations after which volcano erupts every time. So that if we are aware in 1 week or in 2 days or in 24 hours, there is going to be eruption through the vibration sensors, through the sound and through the gaseous sensors, then people will be immensely benefited. Immensely benefited. You cannot stop volcano from eruption, but you can make the people aware of and cautious of the eruption. So this was the most wonderful part of our IoT project. I can now come down to the last slide of my presentation, please. Next one, Shri Vishalji.
Yes. Yes, sir.
I'm waiting for the next one to come because it only takes a few seconds. Yeah, now it has come. So now I have come to the typical our own government of India, which has announced a ambitious 100 smart city program. And most of you are aware that many of the cities they have started implementing something. So state capitals and many tourist and heritage sites are expected to witness a rapid upgrade of urban infrastructure and online services to citizens enabled by information technology. So we are going to look forward to the development in terms of our in context, whether they will be also able to develop some of their own model. And of course, there are some of the open issues which we have learned from the Smart Messina project, and that issues are to cyber security and analytics aspects, and also the technology standards and what the project will take shape in India. That we all are trying to very closely watch, of course, watch from the distance, because government generally in India does not involve university and academic bodies. So my last slide, the 57 number slide for acknowledgement, please. So I'm with this slide, I'm concluding the discussion, acknowledging to my wonderful Italian friend, which most of pictures you already have seen, Professor Antonio Pugliafito and his wonderful team at Messina, who included us as a collaborator from India, and many students and scholars have been immensely benefited by this project work experience. Of course, I should have did one more reference slide, but because of paucity of time, I could not do it. But in the dot, I have completed at 12 o'clock, as per the wishes of my dear friend Shri Vishal. So, Shri Vishal, thank you so much for all the help and for the opportunity. And I'm open for any discussion with the participants if they have.
So now session is open for the question and answer here. So you can ask the questions here.
Hello. Hello.
Sandeep, please.
Thank you, sir, for thank you, sir, for the nice presentation. I have heard that in IoT, in order to tackle the address crunch problem, non-IP based addressing can be implemented. Sir, can you throw some light on what type of addressing will be there as non-IP based addressing, and in what layer it can be implemented? Thank you, sir.
For our work, I can tell you that everybody
हाँ सर, कनेक्शन प्रॉब्लम। अब ऑडिबल नहीं है सर, मैं स्पीकर पे कनेक्ट कर दे रहा हूँ सर आपको। ओके, so any other questions here? Now sir is
I'm trying to answer to the speaker phone.
so any other questions? I think no.
Or any other comment?
Okay. So meanwhile, if you have any other query or other questions here, you can ask to me here. I can connect your problems here with the sir here, or you can ask directly with the sir here. And the sir official account here is the information available at the IIIT Allahabad website page here. You can contact the sir here, so that channels too here.
Hello, sir. I have not heard anything about my question, sir. Please, if possible, can I get the answer?
Okay. Sir, actually one question that Sandeep have asked here, actually this connectivity issue, he was not able to listen anything. So could you reply again, sir?
So he actually asked about the internet IP addresses, if I'm not wrong.
Yes.
So the problem you mentioned was the lack of IP addresses.
Yes, sir.
But in case of our IoT devices and connectivity, we have everybody using a different identifiers, which were more based on the MAC addressing and the local identifier creation. So far we have not faced any trouble with the IP addresses as they theoretically people believe. But of course, another problem was the security and the undesired nodes jumping up in between. So that we are working upon with the Bitcoin-based technology. Okay. The cryptocurrency-based understanding. Okay.
I think Sandeep, you got the answer for your questions here.
Yes, sir. Thank you. I got the answer.
Okay. Okay, sir, with this note here, I am able to see here there is no question in the chat box from the audience side here. So with this, I will take a liberty to close this technical sessions here, and I will request the audience here. For further question, you can connect with us directly, or you can ask me. I will connect with the sir here.
Sure.
So both way.
On my email also, if you want to drop something.
Yes. So. Okay, sir. So before we close this session here, on the behalf of organizing team here, I would like to thank a lot to you, sir, here for taking so much time from your busy schedule and sharing your expert knowledge with all of us here and benefiting all of us here. So on behalf of the organizing team here, it is not possible to give something in the real mode here, but still in the virtual mode as a memento here, the token of love here. I would like to present you, sir, here. So we will ensure that it will please. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I will connect with you shortly. Okay, sir. Okay. Thank you very much, sir. Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Thanks to you as well. Bye. All the participants. Bye.
Okay. Bye. So now this was the opening for our morning sessions here, first talk here. Now we are moving ahead for the next talk of the morning session here. And this talk is on the Massimimo, and the speaker of this session is already with us here. So before I request the sir here to move, I would like to request.
Sri Vishal sir, give us a 5-minute breaks.
Oh, actually, we are
it's
here, so we cannot give the 5 minutes break here. So it's a 2 minutes break. I can offer this maximum. Okay.
Okay.
So after 2 minutes, we will meet again. Okay. Thank you.